The Chanel bag slipped from Maya's hands as a foot connected with her back. She crashed forward, packages scattering across the marble floor of Seoul's most exclusive mall. Shocked gasps rippled through the crowd. Still clumsy, I see. That voice. Maya's blood turned to ice. She looked up into the sneering face of Marcus Williams, her ex-boyfriend, the man who destroyed her 3 years ago. What are you doing here? Stealing? Marcus laughed, his new wife Victoria clinging to his arm, dripping in designer labels. Wait, let me guess, you're someone's maid now? Carrying their shopping? Maya stood slowly, dignity intact despite the humiliation. Marcus, Victoria, how? Unexpected. Unexpected? Marcus circled her like a predator. What's unexpected is seeing trash like you in a place like this. Security should throw you out. You can't possibly afford anything here. He kicked one of her fallen bags. These are fake, right? Knockoffs from Dongdaemun Market? Marcus, leave her alone, Victoria whispered, but her eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction. Why? She needs to know her place. He grabbed Maya's arm roughly. You're pathetic. I dodged a bullet leaving you. Look at you, still poor, still nobody. While he gestured at his expensive suit, I'm thriving. Let go of me. Maya's voice was steady, despite her racing heart. Or what? Marcus shoved her again. Harder. She stumbled backward into a display. You'll cry? You'll beg like you did when I left? Please, Marcus, don't leave me. I love you. Enough. The single word cut through them all like a blade. Cold. Deadly. Absolute. Marcus froze. Everyone froze. Because the man who'd spoken tall, devastatingly handsome in a black suit, flanked by 6 men who screamed danger, was walking toward them with the casual confidence of someone who owned the world. And the way he looked at Marcus promised death. Kim Dae-hyun had been watching from the second-floor restaurant when he saw his wife fall, saw that pathetic man kick her, touch her. The rage that consumed him was ice-cold and absolute. Sir, should we? His second-in-command, Min-ho, started. I'll handle this myself. Dae-hyun was already moving, his men falling into formation behind him. By the time he reached the scene, he'd catalogued everything. The man's face memorized for later, the woman beside him, complicit, the crowd, witnesses, and his Maya, his brilliant, kind, beautiful wife, standing with her head high despite the humiliation. Pride and fury warred in his chest. Enough! His voice carried absolute authority. Every head turned. Mall security immediately moved toward him, then stopped, recognizing who he was. Smart. He walked straight to Maya, his expression softening only for her. Are you hurt, sweetheart? Dae-hyun? I'm fine. You're not fine. He touched you. Dae-hyun's hand gently brushed her cheek before his eyes turned to Marcus. Who are you? Marcus, having no idea what he'd stumbled into, puffed up with false confidence. I'm Marcus Williams. And who the hell are you? Her new boyfriend? Good luck with that one, buddy. She's her husband. Dae-hyun's voice dropped deadly quiet. I'm her husband, and you just assaulted my wife in public. That was your first mistake. Your last mistake was thinking you'd walk away from it. The color drained from Marcus's face. Husband? Maya? What, you married this guy? 3 years ago. Maya stepped closer to Dae-hyun, who immediately wrapped an arm around her waist. Protective. Possessive. Right after you abandoned me for Victoria. Remember when you told me I was worthless? When you emptied our joint account and left me with nothing? When you said no man would ever want me? Marcus's mouth opened and closed. But you were nobody. You were broke. How did she catch the attention of Kim Dae-hyun? Min-ho stepped forward, enjoying this. That's what you're wondering? Maybe because she's brilliant, kind, beautiful, everything your shallow ass couldn't appreciate. Kim Dae-hyun? Victoria's face had gone white. The Kim Dae-hyun? The one who owns half of Seoul, yes. Dae-hyun's smile was razor sharp. among other things. And the man your husband just assaulted is my wife. The woman he dared to put his hands on is under my protection. Do you understand what that means? Marcus's mind reeled. This couldn't be real. Maya, his Maya, the broke, desperate girl he dumped, was married to the most powerful man in Korea? I need to explain, he started desperately. Maya, what happened between us? Was 3 years ago. Maya's voice was steel wrapped in silk. You want to explain? Fine. Let me remind everyone what you did. The crowd pressed closer. Phones out. Recording everything. Perfect. 3 years ago, I worked 2 jobs to support us while you pursued your dreams. I paid rent, bought groceries, covered your car payment. Then you got that job at your father's company and suddenly I wasn't good enough anymore. Maya's voice never wavered. You met Victoria at a company event, wealthy, connected, everything you wanted. So you emptied our joint account, $8,000 I'd saved, took the car I was paying for, and texted me a breakup message. You're holding me back. Lose my number. Victoria gasped. Marcus, you told me she was crazy, that she stalked you. She did. I was homeless. Maya cut him off. I couldn't pay rent, lost my apartment, slept in my car until repo men took that too, ended up in a shelter. All because you stole everything I had and threw me away like garbage. That's not I didn't know you'd, Marcus stammered. You didn't care. Dae-hyun's voice was ice. And today, you saw her and decided to humiliate her, to hurt her, to remind her of her pain. That ends now. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I was young and stupid. You were cruel. There's a difference. Dae-hyun pulled out his phone. Minho, escort this man and his wife to my office. We need to have a conversation about respect and consequences. Wait, no, we didn't mean anything. Victoria tried to run, but Dae-hyun's men blocked the exits. You kicked my wife. You mocked her. You physically assaulted her in front of witnesses. Dae-hyun's smile was terrifying. Did you really think there wouldn't be consequences? Marcus finally realized the danger he was in. This wasn't just a jealous husband. This was Kim Dae-hyun, a man with the power to destroy lives with a phone call. A man with connections to every dark corner of Seoul. A man whose wife he'd just humiliated and hurt. Please, I'm sorry. I'll apologize. Too late for apologies. Dae-hyun turned to Maya. Do you want to press charges? Assault. Theft. From 3 years ago. I can have lawyers here in minutes. Maya looked at Marcus, really looked at him. The man who'd broken her heart, stolen her money, left her with nothing. The man she'd once loved, and felt nothing. Just pity. No charges, he's not worth it. She took Dae-hyun's hand. Let's go home. As you wish. Dae-hyun kissed her forehead, then turned to Marcus with a smile that promised nightmares. You're lucky. My wife is merciful. I'm not. You have 48 hours to return the $8,000 you stole. With interest. 3 years at 10% annually. Call it $10,640. Wire it to my office. I don't have. Find it. Sell something. Borrow from daddy. I don't care. 48 hours. Dae-hyun's voice dropped to deadly quiet. And if I ever see you near my wife again, if I hear you spoke her name, if you so much as think about her, I will make you disappear. Do you understand? Marcus nodded, shaking. Yes, I understand. Good. Now get out of my sight before I change my mind about letting you walk away. In the car, Dae-hyun gently examined Maya's arm where Marcus had grabbed her. His jaw tightened at the faint red marks. I should have broken his hands. You were perfect. Maya leaned into him, finally letting the adrenaline fade. Thank you. For what? Defending my wife? That's not something to thank me for. It's my job. My privilege. He kissed her temple. I'm sorry you had to see him again. I'm sorry he hurt you. He didn't hurt me. Not really. Not anymore. Maya looked at her hands, manicured, wearing a wedding ring that cost more than Marcus's car. 3 years ago, He destroyed me. Left me with nothing. I was so disappear. Do you understand? Marcus nodded, shaking. Yes. Yes, I understand. Good. Now get out of my sight before I change my mind about letting you walk away. In the car, Hyun gently examined Maya's arm where Marcus had grabbed her. His jaw tightened at the faint red marks. I should have broken his hands. You were perfect. Maya leaned into him, finally letting the adrenaline fade. Thank you. For what? Defending my wife? That's not something to thank me for. It's my job. My privilege. He kissed her temple. I'm sorry you had to see him again. I'm sorry he hurt you. He didn't hurt me. Not really. Not anymore. Maya looked at her hands manicured, wearing a wedding ring that cost more than Marcus's car. 3 years ago, he destroyed me. Left me with nothing. I was so broken I wanted to die. Maya. But I didn't die. I survived. Got back on my feet. Started over in Korea, teaching English. And then I met you. She smiled at the memory. Remember? You walked into my classroom, by mistake, looking for your nephew's teacher, and saw the most beautiful woman I'd ever met, explaining grammar with such passion that I pretended to be lost just to keep watching you. Daehyun laughed. You caught me, of course. You're a terrible liar. Maya traced his jawline. You asked me to coffee. I said no. 3 times. You rejected me 3 times. Because you were clearly wealthy and powerful and I was a broke English teacher with trust issues. I thought you were playing games. Until I showed up at your tiny apartment with takeout and just sat with you, talked, listened to your story. Daehyun's voice softened. That's when I knew I'd marry you. When you trusted me enough to share your pain. You didn't judge me, didn't pity me. You just said, he was a fool, and his loss is my gain. Maya's eyes filled with tears. No one had ever made me feel valuable like that. Because you are valuable. You're brilliant, kind, strong, everything I never knew I needed. He wiped her tears. And now look at you. Head of the English department at Korea's top international school. Published author. My wife. The woman who turned my cold house into a warm home. I love you. Maya kissed him softly. Thank you for seeing me when I was invisible. You were never invisible. You were just waiting to be found. Daehyun pulled her closer. And I found you. And I'm never letting you go. Marcus sat in his apartment, hands shaking. He needed $10,640 in 48 hours, or face the wrath of Kim Dae-hyun. This is your fault. Victoria paced, furious. You told me she was nobody. You said she stalked you. You never mentioned you stole her money. I didn't steal, I borrowed from our account. You emptied the account and left her homeless. Victoria's voice was shrill. Do you know what the Kim family can do to us? My father's company does business with them. If they blacklist us, we're ruined. I'll fix this. How? We don't have $10,000. We're drowning in credit card debt from keeping up appearances. She grabbed her purse. I'm going to my parents. Figure this out yourself. The door slammed. Marcus was alone with the consequences of his choices. He'd thought dumping Maya was trading up. Victoria was wealthy, connected, sophisticated. Everything Maya wasn't. Except Victoria was also cold, demanding, and only married him for his father's business connections. Their marriage was a transaction. Meanwhile, Maya had loved him, really loved him. Supported him when he had nothing, believed in him. And he'd thrown her away. Now she was married to a man who looked at her like she was the sun and stars, who defended her without hesitation, who clearly cherished her. Everything Marcus had failed to do. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered, Hello? Mr. Williams. This is Min Ho, Mr. Kim's associate. I'm calling to remind you that you have 47 hours and 32 minutes to wire the funds. The account information has been texted to you. Don't be late. I don't have. Then get creative. Sell your car, your watch, take a loan. I don't care. But if you miss this deadline, Mr. Kim will take payment another way. And trust me, you don't want that. Min-ho's voice was pleasant and terrifying. Have a good evening. The line went dead. Marcus looked around his expensive apartment, at the designer clothes, the luxury goods all bought on credit to impress people who didn't matter, and realized he had nothing real. Nothing that mattered. He'd traded gold for fool's gold, and now he was paying the price. 48 hours later, Marcus stood in the lobby of Kim Industries, holding a cashier's check. He'd sold his car, his watch, borrowed from his father, humiliating conversation, and maxed out his final credit card. The $10,640 had been assembled, but it had cost him everything. Min-ho appeared, immaculate, in a black suit. "Mr. Williams, you made it. I'm impressed." "Here." Marcus thrust the check forward. "Everything she's owed, plus interest. We're done." "Not quite." Min-ho didn't take the check. "Mr. Kim would like a word. Follow me." That wasn't the deal. The deal was, you pay or face consequences. You're paying, so the consequences are minimal. But Mr. Kim still wants to ensure you understand the situation. This way. Marcus had no choice. He followed Min-ho to an elevator that required a keycard, up to the top floor, into an office that screamed power and wealth. And there was Kim Dae-hyun, sitting behind a desk, reviewing documents. He didn't look up. "Sit." Marcus sat, waited. The silence stretched. Finally, Dae-hyun set down his pen and looked at him. Really looked, like he was examining an insect. "You brought the money." "Yes. It's all there." "Good." Dae-hyun pressed a button. "Min-ho, take Mr. Williams to accounting. Have them verify the check and deposit it into Maya's personal account. She can decide what to do with it." "Wait, I thought this was payment to you." "Payment to me?" Dae-hyun's laugh was cold. "You think I need your money? I make that amount in the time it took you to sit down. No, this is Maya's money. The money you stole from her. It's always been hers." "Then why? Why did I demand it?" Dae-hyun stood, walking around the desk. "Because you needed to learn that actions have consequences, that you can't hurt people and walk away unscathed. That the woman you discarded had value enough, value that someone would fight for her, protect her, make you pay for your cruelty." Marcus couldn't meet his eyes. "I know I was wrong." "Do you? Do you really?" Dae-hyun leaned against his desk. "Let me tell you what happened after you left Maya. She was homeless for 2 months, slept in shelters, went hungry, cried herself to sleep wondering why she wasn't good enough. And then she decided she was worth more than your opinion of her. She clawed her way back, came to Korea with nothing. Built a life through sheer determination. That's who she is. Strong, resilient, remarkable. I never meant. You never meant to hurt her? But you did. You stole her money, abandoned her, and today you physically assaulted her. That's 3 years of cruelty. And you want me to believe you're sorry?" Marcus finally looked up. "I am sorry. For all of it. I was selfish and stupid, and I threw away the best thing that ever happened to me. Is that what you want to hear?" "I don't want to hear anything from you." Dae-hyun's voice was ice. "I want you to leave Seoul. Find a job in another city. Stay away from my wife. And maybe in your new life, treat people better. Because this," he gestured at Marcus, "this sad, desperate man scrambling for money, this is your karma. Enjoy it." That evening, Dae-hyun found Maya in their home library, curled up with a book. She looked up when he entered, smiling. "How was your day?" "Educational." He sat beside her, pulling her into his arms. Marcus delivered the money. "All of it." "You didn't have to do that." "Yes, I did. He stole from you. He needed to return it." Dae-hyun kissed her hair. "It's in your account now. Do with it what you want." Maya was quiet for a moment. "You know what I want to do with it?" "Tell me." "I want to donate it. To a homeless shelter. The one I stayed in 3 years ago. They were kind to me when I had nothing. I want to pay it forward." She looked at him. Is that okay? Dae-hyun's heart swelled. This woman, this incredible woman who'd been hurt so badly but still chose kindness. It's more than okay. It's perfect. You're perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm just choosing to not let bitterness win. Maya traced patterns on his chest. For a long time, I hated Marcus. Hated what he did to me. But that hate was eating me alive. So I let it go. Not for him, for me. And then I met you and learned what real love looks like. Real love isn't always easy, Dae-hyun admitted. Sometimes I want to hurt people who hurt you. Today at the mall, I wanted to do much worse to Marcus than I did. I know, but you didn't, because I asked you not to, and you respected my wishes even though it was hard. She kissed him softly. That's real love. Putting my needs above your anger. I'll always choose you, even when it's hard, even when my instincts say otherwise. He pulled her closer. You've changed. Before you, I was cold, ruthless. I didn't let people in. And then, you smiled at me, in that classroom, and everything shifted. You weren't cold. You were guarded. There's a difference. Maya's hand touched his face. You showed me who you really were. The man who brings me coffee in bed. Who listens when I talk about my day? Who holds me when I have nightmares about being homeless? That's the real you. And the part that runs a morally gray business empire? That's real too. I don't love you despite your darkness. I love all of you. The light and the shadow. She smiled. Besides, your business empire, funds, schools, hospitals, and charities, you're not as bad as you think. I'm bad enough. But with you, I want to be better. Dae-hyun held her close. Thank you for seeing the best in me, for choosing me. Always, Maya whispered. You're my home, Dae-hyun. Not this house. Not the money. You. Just you. And you're mine. My home. My peace. My everything. He kissed her deeply. I love you more than I have words for. Then show me. She smiled against his lips. We have all night. Maya stood at the podium of the Seoul International Education Conference, delivering her keynote speech on innovative teaching methods. The auditorium was packed, educators from around the world listening to her insights. She'd published 3 papers this year, revolutionized her school's curriculum, and become a voice for inclusive education in Korea. In the back row, Dae-hyun watched with pride. His wife, brilliant, passionate, respected. The woman who'd been sleeping in shelters 3 years ago was now changing the education landscape of an entire country. After her speech, she was swarmed with admirers. Dae-hyun waited patiently until the crowd thinned. Ready to go, Dr. Kim? Dr. Kim? Maya laughed, taking his arm. Still getting used to that. You earned it. Your doctorate was well-deserved. He kissed her temple. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for supporting me through the program. Late-night study sessions, stress meltdowns, the defense. Are you kidding? Watching you pursue your dreams has been my privilege. They walked toward the exit. Besides, I enjoy being married to the smartest woman in Seoul. Flatterer, but she was smiling. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the shelter called. The donation you made in my name is funding their new job training program. They're naming it after me. After us. We did it together, Dae-hyun corrected. How does it feel? Surreal. 3 years ago, I was sleeping there. Now I'm helping others get back on their feet. It's full circle, I guess. It's justice. It's you taking your pain and transforming it into purpose. Stop making me cry in public. Maya dabbed at her eyes. I'm supposed to be a respected academic. Even respected academics are allowed to feel. He climbed in beside her. Dinner at home? I have a surprise. What kind of surprise? The kind you'll have to wait for. His smile was mysterious. At home, Maya found their dining room transformed, candles everywhere, rose petals, soft music playing, and on the table, a small velvet box. Dae-hyun. What? Open it. He stood beside her, nervous for the first time in months. Inside was a key. Simple. Gold. With a small tag that read, Hope House. What is this? It's the key to a building I bought. Downtown. 5 stories. I want to turn it into a transitional housing program for homeless women. Job training. Education. Mental health support. Everything you needed 3 years ago. He took her hands. And I want you to run it. Design the programs. Hire the staff. Make it everything you wished you'd had. Maya stared at the key, tears streaming. You bought a building. For me. To help others like me. For us. To heal the world one person at a time. Together. He wiped her tears. What do you say? Want to build a dream with me? Yes, God, yes. She threw her arms around him. I love you so much. I love you more. He held her tight. Thank you for turning my life into something meaningful. For showing me what matters. For being you. Thank you for finding me when I was lost. For seeing value in me when I saw none in myself. For loving me back to life. They stood there, holding each other, in a home filled with love. A home built from the ashes of pain, transformed into something beautiful. Because that's what love does. It takes broken pieces and makes them whole. It takes darkness and brings light. It takes 2 wounded souls and heals them together. And Maya, the woman who'd lost everything, had gained the world, not through money or status, but through love, purpose, and her own indomitable strength. 1 year later, Hope House opened its doors. Maya stood at the ribbon-cutting ceremony, surrounded by government officials, donors, and the first group of women who'd be living there. Women who looked exactly like she had 3 years ago, broken, lost, but still fighting. Hope House isn't just a building. Maya spoke into the microphone. It's a promise that your worst moment doesn't define your story. That you deserve dignity, support, and a second chance. 3 years ago, I was homeless, abandoned, convinced I was worthless. Today, I'm standing here because people gave me hope when I had none. This house is that hope multiplied. The crowd applauded. Hyun stood beside her, his hand in hers. I'm so proud of you, he whispered. We did this together. She squeezed his hand. Thank you for believing in this, in me. After the ceremony, a young black woman approached Maya hesitantly. Miss Kim, I'm one of the residents. I just wanted to say, thank you for creating this place, for understanding what it's like, for giving us a chance. What's your name? Jasmine. Jasmine, listen to me. Maya took her hands. Your story isn't over. This is just a chapter, a hard chapter, but not the last one. You're going to survive this. Thrive. Build something beautiful from these ashes. I know because I did, and you're stronger than you know. Jasmine's eyes filled with tears. Do you really believe that? I know it, because I've lived it. Maya smiled. And I'll be here, supporting you every step of the way. We all will. As Jasmine walked away with hope in her eyes, Hyun pulled Maya close. You just changed that girl's life. No, you did. By believing in me. By building this place. By showing me what real partnership looks like. Maya looked up at him. We changed her life together. Together. He kissed her forehead. Always together. From across the courtyard, hidden among the well-wishers, Marcus watched. He'd seen the news about Hope House, about Maya's success, about her marriage to the most powerful man in Seoul. And he'd come to see it for himself. She looked radiant, happy, free. Everything he'd taken from her 3 years ago, she'd reclaimed and multiplied. While he was divorced, nearly bankrupt, working a job he hated in Busan to stay away from Seoul as ordered. He'd lost everything. She'd gained the world. As he turned to leave, Maya's eyes caught his. For one brief moment, they locked gazes across the crowd. She didn't look angry or triumphant, just at peace. She nodded slightly, acknowledgement, closure, release, and then looked away, back to her husband, her life, her future. Marcus walked away, finally understanding what he'd lost. Not just a woman, but the chance to be part of something real, something beautiful. Something that could have been his if he'd just chosen love over ambition, character over comfort. Maya watched him go and felt nothing but gratitude. Gratitude that he'd left. Because if he hadn't, she never would have found Hyun, never would have discovered her own strength. Never would have built this life, this beautiful, purposeful, love-filled life. "What are you thinking about?" Hyun asked. "How grateful I am. For all of it. The pain, the struggle, the journey. Because it led me here. To you. To this." She gestured at Hope House. At the women finding hope. At the life they'd built. To everything that matters. "I'm grateful too." He pulled her closer. "For the day I walked into the wrong classroom and found my future. For your courage. For your yes. For every moment since." "Here's to the next chapter," Maya smiled. "Here's to forever," Hyun corrected. "Because that's how long I'm loving you." They stood together in the afternoon sun, watching Hope House fill with light and life and second chances. Two people who'd found each other in the aftermath of pain and built something extraordinary from the ruins. Because that's what love does. It transforms, it heals, it takes broken hearts and makes them whole. And Maya, the woman who was once told she was worthless, had proven that your value isn't determined by who loves you, but by how you love yourself, how you rise, how you transform pain into purpose. She'd lost everything and gained the world, not through revenge, but through resilience, not through bitterness, but through becoming. And in the process, she'd taught Hyun that the greatest power isn't wealth or influence, it's the courage to love fully, to build purposefully, to live authentically. Together, they'd built not just a marriage, but a legacy. Hope House was just the beginning. There would be more programs, more lives changed, more hope multiplied. Because when you've survived rock bottom, you never forget what darkness feels like, and you spend the rest of your life bringing light. The moral lesson of this story is that your worth is not determined by those who abandon you, but by how you rise after they're gone.